for tuning into Respectfully with Miss Pretty Young Thing. I'm your girl PYT, and let's get into it. So, y'all, we're going to go ahead and talk about how juicy this last episode of BMF was. And speaking of juicy, today we are featuring these lovely seafood egg rolls. Okay, they are stuffed with my favorite meal in the entire world, seafood. And of course, I have my little drinky drink. Some, I think it's guava strawberry. Okay, featuring my Respectfully mug. You already know how we get down. And I wanted to just get into it with the last episode that we saw. So much has gone on, and we're gonna do a mukbang style because respectfully, it's necessary. So I'm just gonna break this up real quick so that y'all can see. Oh, it's hot. Just how immaculate the inside looks. Hold on. See that big old piece of shrimp with some lobster in there. Get into it. And I can't wait to get started on this. But in the meantime, before we go ahead and munch down, you already know the vibe. Go ahead and like this video. If you are tuning into my other videos, let me know what you think about my commentary. Let me know what you think about what's going on. Let me know if you haven't watched the other videos as far as episode 1 through 4, I want to say, go ahead and tune into my last video so that you can get caught up with BMF. And of course, make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you subscribe. That's the most important step that I need you to do. In the meantime, make sure that you share with a friend, okay? So, before I start smashing, let's go ahead and do a breakdown of some of the things that we've seen. And if I miss anything, feel free to remind me, let me know. So let's get into it. So this is the recap of Season 3, Episode 5. I'm going to make sure I focus on all the key points in the episode. If I miss anything, feel free to let me know down below in the comments. And this is one of the best episodes that they had thus far of the season. And a lot of bodies dropped off. R.I.P. to Kevin. It sucks what happened to him, but I predicted it. I know Detective Bryant is going through it. And I'm eager to see what happens next. When it comes to the whole storyline, when it comes to Detective Bryant, Kevin did not deserve it. R.I.P. to Milton. Remember I told you 50 Cent always coming for the kids. Man, that Techwood war was messed up. Glock, I don't know Glock, but R.I.P. to him. Glock, figure it out. R.I.P. to Rip. Honestly, remember when Meech told him to stick to the music thing? Maybe you should have. Remember, Diesel got dropped off as well at the beginning of the episode. So, R.I.P. to him. R.I.P. to Detective Emberson, who got dropped off by Henrietta. So many people. Oh, Stacks got dropped off. Honestly, I knew it. Glock had him shivering like a stripper towards the end of the episode. I knew it was going to happen, but the way it happened, I didn't think it was going to happen that way. But he deserved it. But Glock and Henrietta, they both got a dough, and I'm hoping that they might get dropped off by the end of the season because this next episode, they were doing way too much. And you know, Henrietta ended up dropping off her own mans in this episode because they slipped up and lost Detective Bryant, and she took out her frustrations on him. Hold on, y'all. Let me know if you think Detective Emberson is gone for good, because they didn't necessarily show her gone per se, but she had a lot of bullet holes in her body, so you never know. What did y'all think about Raw Dog Charles turning into an Isley brother? You know, putting his little song on, doing what he had to do to get his woman back. If it's the last thing that he do, okay? He put it all on the table. Nothing else to lose, okay? And we know Lucille still has the doctor's business card. Thinking about him, thinking about maybe she should give him a chance. Maybe she should revisit that old high school love. Dr. Maurice, I don't know. Something must be up with him. Part of me feels like it might be too good to be true. Is he in the drug deal on the back end? We're going to find out. It's only 5 episodes left. But yeah, with episode 5, they definitely killed it. I was here for it. And I'm trying to figure out how they're going to deliver everything else when it comes to the next drop-off that they're going to get. You know, Meech is looking forward to going to St. Louis. You know, Terry is going to have his issues back home with Henrietta. And we know he really wished that Meech would have went home with him to help him take care of Henrietta. But now he's going to have to do it himself. So, honestly, I won't be surprised if Terry and Detective Bryant now team up against Henrietta. But remember, Blaze, her dad don't play around. And he might be a major issue down the line if that's what it comes down to. Y'all, this is amazing. I definitely recommend this restaurant. So yeah, honestly, y'all, 50 Cent be taking out kids more than Michael Jordan do, but Kevin didn't deserve to go out like that. It is what it is. We're going to see what's next within the whole story. And I am expecting Detective Bryant to go ham in the next half of this season. So we're going to see how it goes. Battle of Techwood, episode 5. So the episode starts off with Meech and Terry having a conversation with Loco. Loco's still questioning Terry. Doesn't really trust him like that. After they have this conversation, they sit down. They squash their issues and everything seems cool. And Meech is talking about expanding the business to St. Louis. And it seems like Loco is down. So we see Stacks happy as hell at first. Trying to act like everything is good as far as them doing business. We see Remy in the back corner. You already know. All hell always breaks loose when he's there. So Meech, sock him in the face. Another brawl. Another brawl. Another brawl at the Platinum Palace. Now, I don't know if y'all noticed, but Rodney Greeny Green was not in this episode. This is not the last that we're going to see of Rodney Greeny Green. They did not off him. They did not unalive him. Which tells me he's probably plotting and scheming somewhere. So let me know in the comments how you think Rodney Greeny Green is going to come back. A part of me feels like he might be an intricate part to what's going to come. A part of me feels like he might end up teaming with Henrietta. Shoot, even when it comes to the doctor, a part of me feels like he might be as successful he is partially from what he do in his day job. What if his nighttime job is with Henrietta as well? I don't know. You know, it's always some twists and turns when it comes to these things. So you never know. All I know is when it comes to that doctor, I'm sleeping with one eye open. And respectfully, Miss Ma'am, Mommy, you should too, okay? So of course, Diesel is outside while Meech is exiting, and I felt like something bad was about to go down. So we know Terry is upset, and he's like, what the hell is going on? I thought everything was good down in the A. Like, what's with this beef? What's with these fights? But, you know, Meech has his own issues over there. So we end up seeing Mac, and his car was decked out, bulletproof, hidden compartments, chains, jewelry, all that good stuff. And, you know, that's one of the methods that they use when it comes to moving weight. They having a conversation out of nowhere, gunshots, another body dropped off. Rest in peace, Diesel. He up out of here. Meech is pissed. Rip looking like that could have been me. Respectfully, R.I.P. Rip, because you're only going to survive till the end of the episode, okay? So now Stacks is trying to convince them that it was Remy, even though we know it was him that set it up, okay? So we know that that was set up via the MKs by way of Stacks. So he's talking about how he knows a secret way to get in. We bet you do, okay? So Terry was upset, talking about, man, we can't be doing this, but Meech is like, we got to handle this as soon as possible. Circle back to Charles. He's meeting up with Sister Riley at a little diner, trying to check on some music, because he's trying to fix things with Lucille, and he needs her help to making a little demo CD, like a tape or whatever, a little love song to rededicate his love to his wife. Okay? Man, honestly, he had the right intention in heart, but at the same circumstance, the time and place was just the worst. And I think that's just one of those things where, like, his karma kind of sort of playing on the back end. But I really feel for Charles because he's doing his best to try to win his wife back. This shrimp is shrimping. We love to see it. Estelle is at the same place. So Estelle is upset because she thinks that Charles is about to clap a whole nother lady's cheeks. And she wants to make sure that he does not do that to his wife. So now Detective Bryant is able to get out of jail, right? Henrietta pulling some strings, but simultaneously trying to take him out. She got her guys to pick him up. They about to take him out in the car, but he ain't stupid. He was able to fight back. He rolled out of that car, sprint full speed. Listen, all that training that he did for the police academy definitely came in handy, okay? We get to meet Terry. And we know Terry once again. We're saying this whole thing is stupid. We should not be going down to Techwood. Meech is reminding him that the most important words of BMF is not black or mafia, but family. They're not going to expect us to come, and we could just catch him off guard. But what we're going to do is make sure that we are on the same page so that we can make sure that we don't take no L's, okay? Terry ain't liking it, but it is what it is. So now we go to Detective Rana and Detective Emberson. Remember that Lenny guy that they had to talk to? So apparently it was his third strike. He was giving up a lot of intel, talking about how he got the ambulance, who he got it for, and things of that nature. They got the name Henry, and basically they knew that he got this truck for a guy named Twan who works for Henrietta. So all they got to figure out who was driving the truck, which we know is Detective Bryant. And we know Detective Rana Kajen doesn't want to give up that intel, at least not right now. Later on in the episode, she ends up telling him. Henrietta finds out that Detective Bryant ended up getting away. She is pissed off about everything. She decides to take out her frustrations on one of her guys. He was not trying to fight her, but she ended up fighting him anyway, slicing herself, injuring herself in order to even the odds. So once he starts putting hands on her, she says, you know what? Let me put him out of his misery. She pulls out the knife, stuck him up, got him out of here. Henrietta is weird. She is crazy. She is cringe. I see why her pops does not trust her when it comes to the business. Because to me, she's a liability. She's extremely reckless and messy. So now we go over to Meech. Rip makes a new song. And Meech once again tells him, focus on the music. Don't worry about the street stuff. It's not for you. Like, you got to get a clean slate. You have a way up out of the hood. You don't need this. So we already know he's not going to listen. R.I.P. So now we going back to Angel. Gets the club to herself for her and Meech. She gives him a dance, showing him all of her love and appreciation. And she does not want to lose him through the whole Rodney Green situation. Honestly, Angel doesn't have to worry about Meech, but she honestly needs to worry about herself because she might end up getting taken out in this circumstance because Rodney, we know he's going to come back. You know, Meech, go ahead and clap them cheeks. Get into it. But respectfully, I was loving the dance. Meech was loving the dance. We was loving the dance. You did your big one. Y'all, I'm going to bed full tonight. But now we're going to go over to Estelle. She's trying to figure out where Charles is. She told Lucille about Charles and how she saw him at the little restaurant with a whole nother female. Now, reason one, number a million, where people should mind their business. I think she was better off approaching Charles on this circumstance while at the restaurant so that she can get a full-fledged picture of the whole circumstance before wrecking a home. You get what I'm saying? Because that's not her marriage. And I know she had the best intention at heart, but he wasn't meaning any harm. I know Raw Dog Charles was still up to no good, but in this moment, he was not up to no good. So we know Lucille is just like, dang, she's not liking it. Once a cheater, always a cheater. Lucille got the baseball bat as soon as Charles goes through the door, ready to beat him down. He was like, no. Listen, I was working on the song with Mrs. Riley, Sister Riley. I was not trying to holler at her. He plays the song, starts singing, turned into a whole Isley brother. Raw Dog Isley. Charles Isley. Okay? The auto-tune was auto-tuning, singing his heart out, doing what he had to do to win the love of his life back. Okay? Lucille went from mad to being happy to letting Charles backsliding in that bed later on. So Charles is doing his best to complete the mission of winning his wife back. Okay? Had him sprung, nose wide open. All right? So going back, we know Meech was watching Stacks this entire time to see if he's a snake. Of course he is. And the OGs said that it was the MKs that did the shooting on Diesel and that it was not Remy. Okay? So, Tina, she been banging. She been throwing chairs. She been throwing hands. She gets down. Shout out to Tina. So now they're having a conversation. So hopefully we can make a truce and maybe team up and take out the bigger enemy, which is the MKs. So we know Stacks is going to have to get up out of here too when it comes to that equation. So Meech tells the crew what Stacks has been up to, and they're pissed off. But they do agree to go with Meech and Terry to Techwood in broad daylight. And once again, Rip does not want to be away from the street life, so he says he's going to go too. It is what it is. Now, panning over to Detective Bryant, he's visiting Kevin. Kevin's face all messed up. Henrietta tells the men that were sent to protect him to switch it up. They start bullying and beating him up instead. It's not looking too good for him. So what makes it even sadder is that Kevin told his pops that they violated him, y'all. Pinned him down, jumped him, and they went Nickelodeon on him. And honestly, I feel bad for him. And Detective Brian, deep down, he's just like, yo, it's all my fault. He knows it was his fault. He should have did better, down to the weapon that was used and everything. But there's nothing that he could do because, let me pause on the food, because Henrietta, we already know he got her strings in there. So Kevin is really going through it. And it sucks because this is the final straw for Kevin, because we know by the end of the episode what happens next. So we go back to Detective Veronica Jen. She tells Detective Emerson the truth about Detective Bryant and that he was the one driving the ambulance truck. And they kind of had a back and forth thing saying, look, just let me know the truth the next time. She ends up telling the story about her father and how they don't have the best relationship because she used to be on drugs. But she did mention that she wants to talk to him once again and fix their relationship. She mentioned how he started acting weird for his political campaign. He didn't visit her in rehab or all of that. So then they start playing games, karaoke. Detective Brian pops up. I need your help. It's about Kevin. Pan back over to Meech in Techwood in Atlanta. They're about to have a civilized conversation with Remy, but Remy not trying to hear it. So Meech is telling him, look, we need to squash this beef because the bigger picture is on the way. Okay? Now, you already know from the previews of the episode that it's going to be a war smack dab at the location that they are right now. And Meech has the 411 on it. This man is not listening. He do not want a truce. He does not want to combine forces. I should have bought 3 of these. Now, he tells them that the MKs are setting us up. He's telling them that we can't go nowhere. They got high-power weapons. They're going to take everybody out. let's just go ahead and take care of business. Old girl up in the window. She can't wait to let Stacks know that Meech's and boys was there, right? So now out of nowhere, the MK show up to the party, spraying everything that moves, okay? So now, there was a plan. Bodies dropped off. No matter the age, no matter the gender, no matter nothing. Milton ends up getting dropped off. This man with a gun in his hand, mentor Remy was shook, and he was literally telling him, like, you need to go somewhere safe. But honestly, by the time he said it, it was too late. That was not going to happen. So Milton's pops comes in, sad, foaming at the mouth. You're supposed to protect us. So he's upset. It was honestly was a sad thing to see, but you know how 50 Cent do. So now Henrietta decides to follow Detective Bryant, and she is spraying up Veronica Jen's spot, not playing around, okay? So honestly, the way Detective Emerson was sprayed up, Detective Bryant gets a page, he gotta go. Honestly, that scene was effed up. That scene is effed up because this man came for refuge, and the refuge wasn't refuging. And in the process, of the refuge not refuging, someone loses their life. Now, the only thing that could stop Detective Bryant from being there and present in that very moment for that fatal attack on the home is that pager that he just got. That page that he just got. Okay? Who's the only human being they would stop everything for. 50 Cent, you suck. Okay? You suck. So now, back to ATL. Rip gets shot. He on here leaking. Meech is telling him he gonna make sure that his music gets out and that his name is known, okay? He honestly chose his fate. He should have stayed out of it, but remember a couple episodes ago, I said that that might have been the Blue Da Vinci character, and you know, y'all let me know if that be true, okay? So honestly, it was just so much going on, and you see Stacks over here fake trying to shoot and running his mouth, and honestly, they didn't do everything that they had to do, which means Glock was upset at him. So Glock had to lay him out. Honestly, that man was shaking like a stripper, like I said. Harlem shaking across Atlanta. All right. And honestly, it is what it is, but we still got some people on the list that needs to get dropped off. We're going to see how it goes. So now we pan back out to Lucille. She's looking at Dr. Maurice's business card, thinking about him, and all of a sudden, Raw Dog Charles comes into the house, crawls into the bed, feeling like a horny teenager once again, and all of that stuff like that. And he's putting it on her thick. He's trying. And he made sure he got his girl back for now. The doctor is still in the picture, okay? She let him get up in it again, but we know who she's really thinking about, and that is the doctor, and not her husband. So it is what it is. Head back out to Detective Bryant. He gets the word about his son. That was the page that he got earlier. He goes to see him one more time. It was so sad. Kevin is not there anymore, and he left him a note. Nice little illustrations in the front, and honestly, he couldn't take everything that was going on. He was getting bullied. He was getting violated. It was too much for him to handle. Too much for him to handle. And in the note, Kevin said, "You will always be my hero. I'm just not like you. I love you." And we know Kevin has told his pops before that he's not like him, and that he's not as strong as him, and that, you know, all of this, good advice that his father is giving him, he is not able to follow through. He feels like he's like disappointing his dad in that sense, because he's not as strong as him. And it sucks, because honestly, Kevin is not about that life. He honestly was just trying to, look out for himself in that circumstance, because he couldn't take it with his bully. Okay? So it sucks that 50 Cent keeps saying F them kids, man. And unfortunately, Kevin had to suffer the consequences of his crimes, and Detective Bryant is about to change. Let me know in the comments how you feel Detective Bryant's character is going to change. I feel like he's going to try to take out Henrietta. I feel like he might have to team up with, Meech and Terry. I feel like it might cause issues between him and Henrietta's father. And it might be an issue as far as his son getting, offing himself by way of Henrietta. And we're going to see how all of those pieces move around, okay? But all I know is Detective Bryant, he is about to turn up, okay? We're going to see. So now it's the end of the episode, and Terry tells Meech, basically, I want you to come back to Detroit. It's too much stuff going on out here, okay? Meech is like, I'm not going anywhere. These people need me as much as, I need these people as much as they need me. And I got to straighten up some out before, I leave. And he wants to stay loyal because this is his new family, okay? Terry's a little upset, but he knows what time it is, all right? We know that he wanted Meech to come back so that he can help him out with his issues when it comes to Henrietta, because we know Henrietta is waiting for him to come back. That's his main issue, but Terry's going to have to handle it by himself without his big brother by his side, okay? So I can't wait to see how that plays out and how he's going to go about that. But let me know in the comments how you feel like that is going to play out, because a lot of bodies dropped off in this episode. And, definitely one of the best episodes of the season. I told y'all about 2 Chainz. I'm not surprised that they offed him next. I knew Detective Bryant's son was going to come up. I didn't think it was going to be this quick, but, stay tuned to see how it's going to go. Thank you so much for all of the love and all the support that I've been getting on this, on these recaps. And I am really super eager to see how y'all feel about, which direction that the show is going in as far as everybody. So I want to kind of sort of scrape through everything as a whole right now. Detective Bryant, his son is now gone, okay? I feel like there's going to be a character shift. There's still 5 episodes left. We're halfway through the season, which means, how he was, teaming up with the bad side so that he could pay for a lawyer to take care of his son, that's not an option anymore. So now he's a lone soldier because, remember, he is now suspended indefinitely from his job. So he can do whatever he wants. And he no longer has a reason to have boundaries, if that makes sense, which makes him a very dangerous man. Remember when Henrietta's dad had that one guy that told him, like, he has nothing to lose? That makes him a very dangerous man. Honestly, that was a foreshadowing of the circumstance that we're in. He was desperate before. Now he has nothing to lose. All right, let's move over to Henrietta. We know she really, really, really wants to take out Terry by any means necessary. Plus, now she's made a bigger enemy out of Detective Bryant. What Detective Bryant is going to do in order to, play out his anger towards losing his son, we gonna see. What else is going on? So, 2 Chainz is gone. Hello. Neo's character is still an issue. Okay, so remember, he got laid down and stayed down 2 episodes ago for, doing some sneaky stuff when it came to the Haitians. You already know what time it is. Zopound, talk to us nice. And he's going to be seeking revenge. So we're going to see how that goes when it comes to Meech and the Platinum Palace. There's so many different things that happened, and I can't wait to see how they soon to play out in everything. Now, we also see that Henrietta, honestly, the way she treated that white stripper that was kissing up on her, the way she offed that one lady that was messing with her, the snitch Spanish lady, the way that she offed one of her own men, she is a force to be reckoned with, and not in a good way, okay? So it's going to take a lot to come at her, which is why I think it might take Detective Bryant and Terry to kind of sort of team together to take her out. But what will her dad think about that notion? We gonna see. So let me know what you think about all my theories. So far, all my theories have been correct, y'all. All of my theories have been correct. I don't know too much of the backstory of what really happened in the real world of BMF, but we already know that this tale of it is loosely based off the truth. So we're going to see how much of it is actually going to be what we see on the big screen. But in the meantime, y'all, I am full, and that's it for today. Y'all make sure that y'all please do me a favor, like this video, comment on this video, subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned to what I have next here with PYT TV, respectfully.